Hey guys, Ace here. Welcome to Battlefield 2042 DAMAVAND PEAK. Sorry, I'm in Orbital. Majority of my match here will be spent in this tunnel, which reminded me very much of Battlefield 3 DAMAVAND PEAK. Not my favorite map in Battlefield 3, but still a map that, you know, when I would get on it, it was quite something. A very hectic map, and this is gonna represent it, this match, which is quite nice. I'm gonna go forward to sector D1 and D2, and for my playing, I have about now 7 or 8 hours in the beta. I would have played more, but sometimes the lag literally is giving me headaches and nausea, so I have to stop and just relax a bit. But this, what I did played, I found out that playing in the tunnel here and denying them access from this sector to your other sector behind me, which I don't know what it's called, is actually a very viable strategy. And to get a bunch of kills this game, it was very hectic and very interesting. As you see now, there's infantry grouping up around my tank because they all want to push onto this sector. But with the 64 players and everybody having the ability to equip anti-tank launchers and rockets and C4s, sorry, C5, they've upgraded, it's called C5 now. The tank can get very, very punishing. You die once and it's gonna be very hard for you to get the next tank spawn because you have an internal cooldown. So you have to be very careful how you play. That doesn't mean you should just camp and do nothing else. You can have this selective aggression I talked about in my Firestone video on Battlefield 4, my last Battlefield 4 video. If you want to see a bit more about selective aggression, you should go check that video out. I will talk more in detail about what selective aggression is. I don't think many tankers utilize this. It is just something you do if you know how to play tank for years on end. And but when there is an instance of it in this video, I will show it. So I went a bit out of the tunnel just to clear the people who are running kind of on the sides of the tunnel that are trying to go on top of the tunnel. That they will probably try to surprise me with C5, waiting for me to exit the tunnel. And this is something you also learn from DAMAVAND PEAK. If you were defending outside, they would try to do the same thing. You would just go in in the tank, do a fast drive-by, especially if you had reactive armor, kill them on top, and go back. And so I'm doing the same here. So you can see there's a bunch of infantry pressure. There's also an Apache helicopter here. So if I was out of the tunnel, I'm most certainly dead here. So I'm just waiting for him to try maybe to give me an angle and another helicopter comes. This is leaderboard. Unfortunately, I missed a shot. The screenshot makes it sometimes very difficult to see my reticle of my tank gun to actually shoot infantry and helicopters. So I missed a shot, and now I'm gonna go try to. I remember now I'm trying to make a drive-by here to kill the people who are on the right. As you see, I'm doing it right now. I'm gonna try to kill the guy, but the helicopter is kind of covering for him, and I don't want to get my turret disabled here so that I couldn't aim at the guy who's above me. He always could have had C4 to very swiftly kill me. As you see, I'm gonna pre-fire everybody on the left side there and just let it rip with the tank LMG, killing everybody who's trying to pick me from that side. And this is kind of what's gonna be happening in this tunnel warfare match. A lot of pre-firing with the LMG. As you see, the damage I'm taking is quite exponential. The RPG does quite a bit of damage in this game. It also gives you a visual disturbance. As you see, my entire screen is shaking. Everything is looking like I'm getting EMP'd all the time. There's a lot of visual clutter in the tank in this game, which is unfortunate. It's just something you're gonna have to deal with. The annoying part about it that it does make you miss a couple of kills. It makes it a bit harder to track opponents on range, even on close range, with the main tank cannon and the tank LMG. So this is something you have to be very be wary about. The one thing you can do is go into third person to try to negate some of this visual interference you will be getting from the enemy team. A Humvee rolls out. I think he was trying to go into the tunnel. I do know that you can put C4 on Humvees, even recon drones and all of this type of vehicles. As I get teleported on top of the tunnel, I'm not sure what the hell that bug was, but it gives me such a position on everybody here at these ship containers, and I'm gonna take up everybody who I can and kind of open up the sector for my team. Usually when I get bugged in any Battlefield game, it was usually not in my favor, but here this weird teleport hack, the bug, gives me a nice angle on everybody there. So I want to go back to the tunnel because I know the helicopters are not dead yet, and I'm kind of insecure. As you see, I'm kind of very stuck here, and I want to go back into my little mole hole. That's kind of what tanks are in this game, moles. You kind of just pick from somewhere like a little mole, fire a tank shell, and you can hope you kill 10 people at once, and then keep doing the same thing. You kill them on the flag, then you kill them on the spawn points. Rinse and repeat. Pretty much the same way we have played Battlefield 3. At least that's how I played it. And if that's not how you played BF3, then you were doing something horribly fucking wrong. That's how you played that game. And this game is very reminiscent of Battlefield 3 style in that regard, the way you eliminate people on flags and then eliminate them access to flags. It's very important. So, we're back into the tunnel. I'm gonna try to see if I can help out. I know that the flag is completely not clear. As you see, I'm taking damage from people from the forest now, as I just land a gigantic shell onto this guy's base. I will say something about the visibility. It's pretty good in this game. There's a lot of the things I don't like about this game, just like how I don't like helicopters, as I make sure that we don't get touched by the helicopter. Take him out, get a nice little 5 or 6 kills in it. And I like that some of the shells one-shot helicopters. Sorry, not some of the shells, some of your shots. You can't one-shot every helicopter, but you can one-shot the Viper helicopter, or your Havoc, your attack helicopter, and the Little Bird. The big Condor type thing, like the Venom transport helicopters and this type of helicopter, do not get one-shot. So I wouldn't recommend actually spending too much shells on them. It takes like 5 hits to fucking kill. It's kinda a little bit excessive from DICE. Expect me to spend 5 shells to kill a transport heli. So we're gonna cut here because there's nothing really happening here. We're gonna cut, I'm gonna drive to the tunnel, and we're gonna go back right where we started on our own friendly sector. So, heading towards the friendly sector here, I'm gonna try to do the same thing we were doing on the opposite side of the tunnel, is kill everybody who is on the flag and then deny them access to the flag. First, I'm gonna deal with everybody on range here. You can see a little bit of action of the tank, how the range combat looks. I will say this, there is a horrible input lag in the tank. It's kinda hard to aim on range, especially with the low FPS, because you see my FPS dips as low as 80 to 90 FPS. While you might think that's kinda still high FPS, not for me, because I have a 240 Hz monitor, so you know, the stuttering can get pretty extreme. As I do take a jeep coming into the flag, I'm gonna try to limit anybody who is exiting the flag here, guys. This is kinda, you wanna always, if you have your team on the flag, you always wanna kinda anchor and be the one who is killing people for them so they don't get picked off while they're on the flag. You wanna make sure your infantry is safe, if you can ensure that, from people who are entering the flag. Another jeep comes in, I take him out, and now there's a tank there. I don't think you've ever seen a tank battle in this game yet, and if you've seen, then it's not very interesting. As you see, I'm just making sure that he doesn't push more forward. I'm shooting him, but I'm taking a bunch of pressure, so I'm just gonna fall back, wait for a couple of repairs here, and try to eliminate people now. I see people coming from the right side here. I'm guessing they're coming from the rocket launch site there, and it's gonna be important for me to try to eliminate anybody who's trying to flank all of my infantry here. As I said, the minimap isn't the best, so some of my infantry probably don't know where they're getting flanked from, and if you can see them, if you have a bit of more game sense, you can try to eliminate any of those people coming in. The tank died with the help of myself earlier and our infantry. We managed to take him out. It doesn't take a lot to take out the tank in this game. I'm talking tank v tank. I cannot really speak about inf or engineers versus tank. Tank v tank, we're talking here maybe 4 or 5 shells. If he doesn't repair himself, like I said, no APS, no reactive armor. It makes it, tank battles are very straightforward. Do I think that's a good thing? I think for the casual aspect of the game it's a good thing. Maybe the APS and reactive armor are a bit too frustrating for the casual player base. Kind of hard to figure out how it works maybe, or whatever. I think if it stays like this, I'm not going to complain too much about it. I would wish for the reactive armor to return from Battlefield 3. That would be quite nice, make the game a bit more interesting. But if it doesn't happen, that's all fine with me, guys. I can play the tank no matter the way it's served. Let's just call it that. I will say this about the APS. APS, I kind of hate the fucking APS. I always hated it in the BF4. It's just such a cringe mechanic, for lack of a better word. I never liked the idea of pressing one button, blocking a bunch of damage for a couple of seconds, and then you just kind of full speed backtrack into the objective, and you just full repair with no cooldowns or nothing, and then you can just re-peek me. But I've already used a bunch of shells to even force you to pop APS. And then I have like 1 shell left, and you have full shells and full health left, and by that time your APS is off cooldown already, and it just never sit well with me. I thought the reactive armor was a bit better. At least it would force him to go out of the tank to try to repair his reactive armor, granting his solo tank. But with the APS, he can just sit there and not do that and just fall back and have an upper hand on me with more shells. I do not like that, so if APS doesn't come back, I'm fine with that. I'm gonna try to go for a long shot here. I miss. I think I had to aim a bit more forward. So we got this sector here. I'm not gonna call these sectors by name yet, because I don't really remember them that much. I guess that this is D2, as somebody lands a quad bike on my tank, and I'm gonna keep riding this quad bike with me. You cannot tell it from him, but this made me very lag in game. Like, it made my, I don't know, it just felt very weird. It kind of like somebody was humping me from the back. I do not like that feeling. I'm gonna walk into the rocket site place here. and I'm gonna try to kill anybody who is walking down. I've never been here. This is actually the first time I'm actually coming to this flag, and I'm already taking a bunch of pressure. You see, I'm already 50 health. I'm gonna try to eliminate some of this pressure. And the only reason I came here is because as I see that my squad mate is trying to push here. There was a couple other friendlies. I wanted to give them some support. Bad idea. As you can see, my turret is disabled. I was moving very slowly. It's repaired now. So I remember saying, okay, I'm not going back onto this flag. I'm gonna fall back into the sector we came from. I'm gonna wait for my gunner to go in. As greed settles in, I'm gonna try to land a couple more very long range shells. I'm gonna miss, and then now I'm just gonna smoke and fall back. Smoke for retreat is still, of course, very potent. You take some pressure, you smoke, and you fall back. You can also use a third person when you smoke, so you can just kind of see around you without having to block your own vision, because sometimes you can sabotage yourself smoking a bit inconsistently or too early or too late, and you can miss a couple kills because people, you know, if you're a smart infantry player and you see a tank smoked in front of you, you're gonna run into the smoke. You're not gonna wait for him to backtrack and then see you after the smoke has disappeared. So it's kind of, it can be a double-edged sword if you don't know what you're doing as a tanker, yeah? Many times I've seen tankers smoke right in front of me, and I would just sneak on them with my own tank into their own smoke, and then they were like, hey, oh shit, yeah? It's something you want to avoid. You want to smoke correctly. I think this will be one of the first guides I will do, especially if smoke is going to be the only countermeasure we have in this game. I think a proper smoke guide, the way it's supposed to be used, how it was used in BF3, I think that will be the first guide. So, if that's the case, you can look forward to that. It's going to be there is a lot to smoke that needs to be said, and somebody has to do it proper justice. I don't think I've ever seen anybody talk about Battlefield 3 tank smoke, how important that countermeasure was, especially since it was your only countermeasure. So, we're gonna go do that. Even if your smoke isn't the main thing, there will be still a smoke guide. It's still a very potent countermeasure, so we will be talking about it. Another jeep comes in. This seems to be full of AI, so I'm just gonna kill it. One thing I noticed about the bots in this game is they tend to go into these transport vehicles often. I've seen them fly the transport helicopter. I've seen them in these Humvees. I've seen them in the hardline trucks. I've seen them in all sorts of things. So I'm taking a bunch of damage from I'm not sure what. I'm gonna go to the containers here. I'm gonna go for a fast double rep. Here's some repair tool. You can see it in action. There was a little green bar. That's kind of like your cooldown thing. Yeah. So double rep. You can still exit the tank if it's a lot of pressure. You can exit the tank and just do double rep if you do have a gunner. If you don't have a gunner, then just do it yourself. Same like BF4. As I do take out the little bird, pretty good shot. My second helicopter kill of this game. So I'm kind of getting back into the mood of just trying to take helicopters out. And this is, remember, also with low FPS. I think once the final game is out, and if this game please gets polished, and I get back maybe at 200 FPS, and I can play at 200 FPS or 240, taking helicopters out this game with this main gun, which has excellent velocity. I cannot stress this enough. The best thing about the tank in this game is the main gun. I think it's very accurate, does a lot of damage, it has decent splash, and it has very good feedback. I'm trying to take out the parachuter, and my shell, it just looks like it's flying through him, and I cannot let that slide, so I'm just gonna roll my tank over to this little ramp, trying to take him out. You're gonna have to be careful. A lot of people, especially with the 6-seated transport helicopters, a lot of the people do like to bail out of the vehicles a lot. I try to like do the C4 on you. I died like a couple times throughout my time with the beta here, so you gotta be a bit wary of that. This bug, when you have this kind of mini TV screen bug in the tank, as you just seen a frame before this, the way you fix, you just go into zoom optics. It's the same bug that existed in BF5. Sometimes it happened even in BF4 and BF3. If you use zoom optics in those games for whatever reason, this is how you fix it. So if that has been annoying you in this beta, you're welcome. Little bird, I will say this about the little bird. I was very scared. Well, as I just dust on him, now that makes me more scared. Dust being back in the game, that's not good. Because if this wasn't dust, that's my third helicopter kill of the game. But the Battlefield Gold decided to save this little bird's soul. I remember I was very upset when this happened. But it is what it is. So going back to the topic I was talking about, the little bird, I was kind of very afraid when I heard it has rocket pods. I was thinking I'm just going to get strafed by little birds. There's not going to be any difference between him and Havoc. And that's actually not true. Little bird does almost no damage to tank. I don't know if that's intended, that it could be just be bugged, so I don't want to talk too soon. But he just looks to be a worthless pile of shit. Like, I just don't even bother shooting him. If you can kill him, then you kill him, but if he's pressuring you, you just don't care. The only thing he's doing to you is screen shaking your tank, which is mildly annoying, but that's about it. You don't have to worry about him. I do see a carcass of tank there. I was thinking it's still alive, but it isn't. Yeah, Like, even if you don't think that, even if you see that the tank is dead and you don't think there's somebody there, it's worth to land a shell just into the carcass of the tank. There is usually somebody below it waiting to heal somebody who bailed from the tank. So make sure that you start doing that. It's a good habit, especially if you have pretty much unlimited shells like you do in this game. So I'm gonna roll back onto this sector now. We've kind of started winning. The game is very close, guys. This is one of the more closer games I've played of the beta of this 7 to 8 hours I have. And now, look at what sector they have. Guys, they have the C sector on the other side of the tunnel, which means we're going back into the DAMAVAND PEAK. And here, there's going to be the most amount of people I've ever seen in this beta here. First, there's going to be a squad of the AI. I'm going to take them all out. Luckily for me, none of them have had engineer guns. So now, there's a real player here. I'm going to try to kill him really fast. Another real player. So I'm already racking up a bunch of kills here, but I'm taking a lot of damage too. I'm gonna wait for a little bit of repairs. I was thinking about going double wrap here, but it's just not safe. Somebody can steal my tank, so I'm just gonna wait for a couple of reps. I'm already racking up a gigantic kill streak. So I'm gonna go a bit more forward here. As you see, I'm fixing the bug. Now there's another squad here. This time it's the real dudes. I'm gonna take everybody out. I'm gonna pick from the left side here. Another squad of people. This is the 64 players in action, guys. I'm gonna kill everybody here, and I'm gonna wait for repairs. I'm gonna try to take out anybody here who would try to pick me at the same time. In this game, you want to pick one by one, guys. If you're an inf, you pick a tank one by one, not all at the same time. This will be, in the end though, my demise here. As you will see, this time they didn't want to go for DAMAVAND PEAK round 2. This is the same people who were here at the beginning of the game. They knew what they were doing. However, this time, they will be sure to punish me. At this stage, I knew I would die here. There's no going back here. Either I die here like a man, or I go back to my sector and I loses the game. If these guys go to the other sector, we could lose. So here I go. I die. I don't know. I kind of just also exploded. It was very weird. I think I just got C5. I don't even know how the hell I died, but I died. We do win the game, and I'm gonna end the video here. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you for more videos later this week. Have a good one. Bye bye.